Hey YouTube, what's going on? Today I want to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note FE. Now, this was Samsung's original fan edition device. Unfortunately, the Note 7 had battery issues and it was overheating and some was catching on fire. So, after the Note 8 was released, then they came out with the Samsung Galaxy Note FE, the fan edition. Now, you probably wonder why I'm talking about a Note fan edition that's super old. This device came out in 2017. But the reason why I want to talk about it is because Samsung's second release of a fan edition device was the S20 FE. And that really was a good device for the price. It was $699. It pretty much was a flagship device minus, I think, a slightly smaller battery, no quad HD, and stuff like that. So it was pretty much a flagship, honestly. And Samsung did a great job with that device because it pretty much had all the things that a flagship phone has, except the design was a tad bit different. It wasn't as nice as the S20. And that's, that depends on who you are. Some people may like the design of it. I think it's okay, but I still think the S20 looked a little bit better than that. But that wasn't, that's not the main thing I'm talking about. But as far as the amenities, all the features and all the things that made the phone, it was basically a flagship phone scaled down just a little bit with the cameras, no quad HD, things like that. But pretty much it had everything. And the price, $699, was great because the original S20 was $1,000 when Samsung first released it. They definitely overpriced that device and that hurt their sales tremendously. And when they came out with the S20 FE and they just scaled it down just slightly, very slightly, it was basically a full-fledged flagship device. And I thought that was a good idea. But the issue I had with that, saying it's a fan edition, is because it was missing some things. Now, what I mean by that, no headphone jack, no heart rate monitor, no iris sensor, it was missing certain things, honestly. No IR blaster. So for me, that's really not a fan edition. I mean, I know it was to for the most part, but to me, it wasn't a true fan edition. Now, you saying fan edition, it should be about the fans, about the people that love the Note line. So if you're going to bring out something for us, for those of us that have been supporting you for all these years, that have been buying Notes, that have been loving them, why would you not put all the things into the Note for the fans? I mean, everything. And this is a great example of what a true fan edition smartphone should be. This is the definition of a true fan edition. And I'm going to prove it to you. Now, first, you're getting Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. Okay. You're getting IP68 water and dust resistance. And as you can see, there's nothing real fancy about this design, but it's solid. It definitely feels very premium. Y'all remember, you got the fingerprint sensor here on the front. You got these, you got your always on display. Of course, you got these, larger bezels, unlike today. Trying to turn it on. All right, hold on a second. All right, I had to use the iris sensor. So as you can see here, these bezels, remember this design, y'all? And a lot of people didn't mind this, but now you got devices with no bezels at all. So let me just show you real quick with my Note 20 Ultra. So you can see the Note has really evolved over the years as compared to what it used to be. I don't know why that went to that. Okay, this is when you had fingerprint sensor on the front, but it was actually, a physical fingerprint sensor. But as you can see, you had these big giant bezels, and now you got no bezels on a much bigger device. But this was just, this was the design of the Note at the time. All right, so I just said, a couple of things that you're getting. You're getting face unlock. You're getting a front physical fingerprint sensor, which some people still prefer over the in-display because it's, they find it to be not as accurate. And the physical fingerprint sensor, for the most part, is 100% accurate. You just put your finger on there and it'll open right up. You had the iris sensor, which I did show you, but it's hard to see behind this camera. See that little red light? That's the iris sensor right there. It sees your eyes and open the phone right up, no problem. See that right there? That's the iris sensor. Love that. All right, let me put my passcode in, open it back up. All right, so you got the LED notification light, and that comes on when you get a notification. It's built right up in here into the iris sensor. So that's something that Samsung removed. So you remove the iris sensor, the LED notification sensor. You still get the always on display, one down firing speaker, 5.7-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, HDR10 plus, 515 pixels per square inch. Think about that. Fan edition, Quad HD display. So they did not scale down the display like they did with the S20 FE. You still got a Quad HD display on this device. The one thing that a lot of people are missing, not just me, see that right there? A 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So if you're going to call this the fan edition, it should have a headphone jack on it. It really should, in my opinion. All right, you got fast wireless charging. You got 15-watt fast wired charging. You get expandable storage up to 500 and I think up to 256 gigs, which is good, expandable storage. Unlike the S21 FE that has no expandable storage. How is that a fan edition? That's not a fan edition. That's not for the fans. All right, heart rate monitor right here on the back. Love that. I use this thing all the time. That's something that should be on something that's calling itself the fan edition. Now, I know for some people, that's not a big deal. For most people, they don't care about a heart rate monitor. But I care because it's something that Samsung had on their devices for years up until the Note 10 Plus. It was on, quite a few notes I don't know if it was on the Note 3, I don't remember, but it was on the Note 4, the Note 5, the Note 7, the Note 8, and the Note 9. And they removed it with the Note 10 Plus. All right. Now, the only compromise they made on this device is that you got a 3,200 milliamp battery down from 3,600 milliamps with the Note 7. This is basically the Note 7 with just a slightly smaller battery. Okay. You got 4 gigs of RAM, NFC, Samsung Pay with MST, edge panels, the S Pen. And with the cameras you got, and this was before they started putting more than one camera on the back of their device. You got the 112 megapixel wide camera, and you got a 5 megapixel camera on the front. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because this was actually a true fan edition device. It had everything that the Note 7 had, this has. The only thing that they scaled down was the battery. So if you're going to really truly bring out a fan edition device, put everything on it and just scale back maybe on the battery, or don't scale back on the display. Don't take away all those things or don't bring those things back. That's not a true fan edition. This is a true phone that's for the fans because there's absolutely no compromises. Like I said, a slightly smaller battery, that's it. That's not the biggest deal. It's not. This is a true fan edition device. And for me, Samsung with the S21 fan edition, no charger in the box, no headphones, no case, no headphone jack, no expandable storage. I don't know why they're even calling that a fan edition. Why would anybody want to buy that? I mean, for what reason? I mean, especially because you took away expandable storage, and there's a lot of people, not just me, that really love Samsung because of the expandable storage. And they took that away. Like, why would you take that away? And you're talking about this phone is for the fans. It's not. So Samsung, you need to go back to your roots and go back to this, because this was the true definition of a fan edition device. It had everything. Like I said, only scaled down the battery a little bit, but basically this is exactly the same as the Note 7. It had no compromise, like I said, except a slightly scaled down battery. But all the things that the Note 7 had, they put in this device as well. So that was just a quick, video just to talk about, what a true fan edition device should be. This is it. not that S21 Fan Edition. Now, the S20 Fan Edition, I haven't had that device, but based on the specs I've heard, it's pretty decent. You know, it's pretty much a flagship device. But still, if you're making it for the fans, where's the headphone jack? Why isn't there any Quad HD resolution on that device? You know, why there's no headphones in the box? You know, I don't get that. So, Samsung, please stop messing over your consumers, because you're only going to hurt yourself, because they're going to stop buying your newer devices. They're either going to go to a different company, or they're just going to go budget or mid-range. Now, if you don't care about selling your more expensive devices, keep doing what you're doing. Keep scaling back and keep taking away things that people love. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.